This is stubble, and after I've gone through it, you almost can't tell that that was stubble. All right, so we are starting hauling manure. I hurt my back, so I can't get in and out of the manure trucks, but I can sit down, so I'm gonna drive the disc. I gotta go work in all the manure. Let's check and see how the disc looks. Make sure there's nothing that looks weird, other than it didn't get latched in the middle. The discs all look fine. The rollers look fine. I need to go grease it, and we'll be on our way. The cow manure sure does a number on the tractor out in the field. This pile will get piled clear up to the track after we're done. It's nasty, but we'll clean it all up and it'll be good to go. I'm sitting in the tractor here. I got this little window mount thing for my phone, so we'll try that out. Maybe get you guys a couple of better angles on things, maybe talking in the tractor. But this tractor, I have to wait for this and that to calibrate and get set up. If you take off too soon, it'll throw codes and stuff. The hydraulic has to fill all the lines and make everything good, make sure that there's fluid in the pumps and stuff before you take off for the steering, or else it'll just lock up and won't work. But give it another couple minutes and we'll be on our way. I'm out in the field now. So this is a stubble field, grain field, that we are renting for next year, but they really wanted us to put our manure on it because the manure really helps build up the ground. So we've been hauling manure on it. There's another field over across the canal over there that we hauled on. But yeah, we're working our way across this ground that we're renting. The manure will help build up the ground so you'll get better crops year after year after year, not just for the current year. It'll help for the current year, but the organic material in the soil and the manure, when it breaks down, it takes years to break down. So you'll actually get a good benefit from the manure for 3 to 5, maybe even 10 years. So they like the manure on the fields. Yeah, they've been out here doing this one. I have a little bit to do. Folded the disc down. Now I'm just driving over to where I need to start. I got my GPS all set up with my lines that I need, so I can focus on the disc, make sure nothing breaks on that. So GPS definitely makes it handy. Also, this little thing I was gonna use, it just sits here and bounces, so I probably won't do any filming with that because it would be very bumpy film. So yeah, I'll take a little bit of video as I disc and as the trucks come in. There's actually a truck coming in right there. Zoom in on him. It's one of our newer trucks. Over there, he's just spreading. But we've got 8 trucks, but the problem with a lot of our trucks is they are old. So we have 3 trucks that are broke down. We did have 4 that were broke down. So we now have 3 that are broke down. So we're running 5 trucks. So I should be able to catch them pretty fast because I'm in this big 9510 tractor. You can kind of see the track down there. Big track machine. It can pull this disc about, I think I can go about 10 miles an hour, which with this Lemken disc, you want to go about 10 miles an hour, 8 to 10 miles an hour. It's a high-speed disc. It helps explode the soil and make everything mix in a lot better. So I'll get to discing here. Hey, there's another one of our trucks coming in the field, starting to spread the poopy. If you wanted to know, it is stinky out here. So the neighbors will like that I'm gonna work it up. All right, I'm going now. This stubble likes to try and plug the disc up. You can see it's trying to plug it up on that side. Maybe lift it up a little bit and see. It comes unplugged. There we go. Likes to plug up a little bit. But we'll get this disked up. See, right now I'm only going 5.7, but shift this bad boy up a few gears. basically 10 miles an hour. Now you can really see it's throwing that material all over the place, really working it up good. And it almost looks like there's never straw in the field back there, so it does a great job. One thing you got to make sure of when you turn around with this track machine is when I turn, I don't want the hitch of the disc to hit the track. So I'll show you at the other end when I turn around how close it actually gets. All right, I'm about to turn around, so I'm gonna lift it up, make sure it's out of the ground, but then watch this when I turn. My track is right down there. I want to make sure that I don't hit it. It gets really close. Probably only maybe a foot away or less. Because if you hit it, then you just bend your tongue, which we have bent a tongue before when we had somebody who didn't really know how to run it in it. We have bent the tongue, so you got to know how to run this thing. Something that's really nice about this Lemken disc is that it works the ground up so well. Like, you look at that, this is stubble, and after I've gone through it, you almost can't tell that that was stubble. Like, you see the stubble next to it over here, then you look where I've gone, it's like you almost can't tell what was even in there. This Lemken disc does such a good job at working up the ground and incorporating all the soil and working it in. Man, this thing was a game changer for our farm. We have the Lemken Rubin, which is this is the Rubin 12 disc. We also have a Karot 9 chisel plow that we use, and actually when we got the chisel plow, we were able to completely get rid of our ripper. We used to have a big ripper, and that would leave it all tore up with big chunky dirt, and we were able to completely quit using the ripper, just use the chisel plow, and then it works it up and it's nice and smooth, and it's made for better crops year after year since we've been using it. Check this out, guys. I love this disc. Look how, like, you almost can't tell that that was straw. Like, you look on this side of the tractor, nice smooth worked up field, and you look on this side, it's just straw and manure. Like, how well this disc works up the ground is just awesome. Guys, now I'm on my way home for lunch. I don't really like driving stuff down the road. This one's not bad, it folds up pretty narrow. The reason this one gets a little more narrow is because they build these in Germany. And in Germany, they have to be able to fit down a narrow road. So when they get to the US, they're built for narrow roads, so we can actually get out of the way pretty easily with them. If you've been watching the channel long enough, when I was dammer diking early in the spring and made that video, I explained that I have been rear-ended in a tractor. So I was driving a dammer diker once down the highway, and that thing is about 20 feet wide. I was taking up most of the road, and the car tried to pass me as I was trying to turn, and he ran right into the back of me, and it was pretty close. If he would have gone 3 inches one way or another, it would have killed him. So I get a little nervous driving things down the road. Granted, I'm not on the highway right now, I'm just on the back road. These back roads don't get a whole lot of traffic. I can usually drive for a mile or two before a car comes up, but still makes you a little nervous driving something this big down the road. I'm only going 17 miles an hour, so yeah, I wouldn't want to meet up with anybody, especially if they weren't paying attention and just ran right into me, because that's happened before. We've had manure trucks get rear-ended. We've had a semi run into our spud planter when he came around the corner too fast. He couldn't slow down, so yeah. It's always those times when you don't know what's going to happen. You just hope that it never happens to you. Driving back to work now after lunch. There's one of my pivots in the background that's watering the hay. It's watering around. It's doing a pretty good job. That's one of our newer pivots. Works really well. But coming up here is a pivot that isn't doing very well. It was going around pretty good. It's been having some weird electrical problems that it just shuts off randomly. But this time it shut off. I tried starting it back up and the tire was just spinning. So went out there and started looking at it, and yeah, the gearbox was bad. and it broke the U-joint that connects the motor to the gearbox. So it was just spinning out there on one tire and it seized up the other one. So I hurt my back, so I can't fix it. But once my back's better, probably next week, I'll get it fixed. But yeah, it's this pivot right here that's coming up. It's just chilling. Luckily, it did get like 1.5 passes around with water, so the hay's not going to be hurting, but just more problems. One thing on the farm is you can always count on something to break down on you. All right, guys, well, I finished the field. Well, I didn't finish the whole field. I finished what they hauled manure on. They'll come out next week, finish hauling on this field. I don't know if I'll be out here in the tractor or my dad, but one of us will be out here. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm just folding this thing up. It's like a bird, it folds its wings in. Gotta fold it up, then I'll head back to the farm, and I'll be done for the day. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching today. Just got back to the farm, parked the disc, and there's the big old tractor. But yeah, we have some good content on the horizon. I'll give you a little peek at what I'm talking about. Here's our good old Spudnik potato harvester. We are going to be starting potatoes probably in 3 weeks. So make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss that. I'm going to show you some of the biggest potatoes you've ever seen. We grow them big out here in Idaho. I'm talking footballs or bigger. But subscribe, share, like, all the things, and I'll see you in the next one.